Let's talk about defensiveness and openness. So what does it mean when we're defensive? It means we hold a position regardless of whether that position is good for us or bad for us. Why would we do that? Well, sometimes we make a decision, we put a lot of energy or information or effort into making that decision, and we don't want to be wrong. So we hang on to that decision. Now, we've all done it in our life, and we know people out there that have done it too. The key here is am I willing to change my position when I find out more information and allow what happened to just be? Not make myself bad or wrong for having made that decision in the past. Because let's face it, whenever we make these decisions, every single one of them, we are doing the best we know how with the information we had at the time. As new information arrives, we then reappraise it, reevaluate my situation, and then I say, you know what, it's time for a different decision now, and it's okay to change your mind. Now, that can only happen when we're willing to be open, when we're willing to listen and receive more information. The best way to get that information is to actually go looking for it yourself. If you wait for it to cross your path, there's a pretty good chance it'll just stimulate your defensiveness, because someone outside of yourself is trying to get you to decide something that they think is in your best interest. That doesn't always work so well. What does work so well, though, is when I go looking for information and I find something that I might want to use to help me justify changing my mind from the decision I made. Now all of a sudden it's internally. It's me doing that for myself. When I'm there doing it for myself, I'm more willing to accept it. Now, if we've just got a bad cases of defensiveness, then that's going to get in the way pretty much most of the time. So let's have a look, just very quickly, let's have a look at how to recognize if you're being defensive. First of all, the first thing is, am I willing to listen to what the other person has to say? If you're unwilling to hear what the other person say, that's a pretty good indication you're defensive. Because if you're okay with what your decision made, then there's nothing wrong with being open and listening to the other person. Okay, so not wanting to listen to what the other person says. The second thing is if you react to what the other person says. So if you come out and you actually say, blah, 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 and you start to fight for your position, then you're defending your position. That's not helpful either. You don't have to fight for your position. You made that decision for yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Stand strong in that. Nothing wrong. So, first of all, are you willing to listen to somebody else's opinion or viewpoint? And secondly, are you defending that position with arguing with the other person and getting upset? So if that's what's happening, then I suggest what you do is go away and have a look at it and say, you know what? I don't want to be right. I just want to make the best decision for me. And then be willing to look and find information, because seeking you shall find. Ask and it will be given. You do the asking rather than waiting for someone to tell you. That's far more powerful for you to do the asking. So there's a couple of little hints to help you to feel more comfortable in reevaluating your life, because if we're not changing, if we're not continually evaluating things, then we're not moving forward. We actually become stagnant. That's what regrouping is all about. When all of a sudden I can get in there and start to find out, do I need to adjust my course of mind right now? Do I need to change anything that I'm believing right now or the way that I'm thinking right now? Have I been ignoring some little niggling thing inside of me that's going, hey, hang on a minute, you might want to just recheck some of this stuff. You might want to just find out a bit more information here, and suppress it and ignoring it because you want to stand true to the decisions you made X time previously. You don't have to do that. Now, once you've changed your mind, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you have more information. So you want to be able to stand in a place of who I am right now is perfect and who I am right now is okay. Because every decision I've ever made in my life has helped me to get to this point. Any of those decisions in my past have been different, I'd be a different person in a different place right now. And I love who I am right here, right now. And not everybody can say that. I know that. Well, here's Here's an affirmation you can say to yourself that can really help you get in a place of really loving yourself and caring for who you are. Here it is. You ready? I like myself. I love myself. And say it over and over and over. I say it a couple of thousand times a day. I've coached a lot of people do that, and it changes their life. All of a sudden they can relax. They feel more secure. When we're not secure, we don't want to change our position. We want to stick to it because we have it mean if I change my position, what I decided previously must have been wrong, which meant that I made the wrong decision. No, you made the right decision for you at that moment. Today, you may want to make a different one, and that's perfectly okay. I hope that helps.